Hi, knitters. I don't know why it is. The minute I start to want to record, the nose runs, the throat, something gets caught. And I catch myself going like this to make sure that it's recording. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to PJ Knits, and thanks for coming back. It's Thursday, and it's been a while, but frankly, I haven't had much to podcast about. I have been going many different directions in my knitting, and I can't decide where I want to go. Anyway, I think I've zoned in. I've got to start focusing, which is an old saying that we used to have years ago with my friend Jan. She'd be like, Penny, focus, focus. So I'm going to really try and focus. Anyway, my name's Penny, and I live in Central Illinois, and this is PJ Knits. You can find me on Ravelry as Penny J, on Instagram as PJ Knits, and I have a blog, www.blogspot.pjknits.com, or maybe it's the other way around. I can never remember. You know, you'd think after probably 20 years of doing it, I could get the blogspot and the PJ Knits correct. But anyway, I have a blog out there as well that I post things to on occasion. And we have a Ravelry group, and it is called PJ Knits. So I'd love for you to stop by there and talk to us about some things. When last we met, as it would be, it was my 1-year anniversary on the podcast, and we had a contest. And I have I have a bag with some goodies in it. And this is by a local maker, Nicole, and she's under Trappings and Trinkets, and it has some really cool stuff in it. So this is going to go out to, I've done a random number generator in the thread, and the winner is post all the light, sorry, trust me, there you go. It is post number 4, which was Alicia. And Alicia, I know you don't need any more bags, but you're getting a bag with a few goodies, and thank you for posting. And Alicia, in the post, likes to see different patterns and things that people are doing. And like all of us, loves to catch up with those people that we've met and know. So Alicia, next week, I'll get that out into the mail to you. So thank you, everybody. I also want to do a thank you to on down below in YouTube, some great comments. Annette, appreciate your comment, as well as enjoying the journey, cancer as a lifestyle, for your great comments. I do appreciate those, and I'd love to see more comments down below. The good with the bad, but mostly good, please. Whatever you feel like. But thank you so much. And if you are not subscribing, please subscribe. I'd love to see you get my numbers up, just for fun and giggles, as it would be. So anyway, those are a couple of things. It is rainy again in Central Illinois, but it's supposed to stop later today, and hopefully this weekend be a little bit nicer. It's just been, we've had a rainy season, and the Illinois River has flooded, and the parking lot in front of our local yarn shop, the Fiber Universe, has been flooded, and so it's been a little difficult to get there. And for us young people, as well as the mature adult, and those who read the Peoria Journal-Star yesterday will get what I mean. And I consider myself as not mature yet, obviously. Or maybe I'm just not owning up to it, but I'm not mature yet. That's my mother-in-law. She's mature. Anyway, moving on from that. But anyway, we've had a lot of rain, and so we're hopeful that the middle of May will bring better weather and sunshine, because you can just tell when you go into work, when there is, even if it's a cool day, if the sun is shining bright, everybody's attitude is a little bit better than it was when it's rainy and gloomy. So that's what we are hoping for to come. And so, and for those people who have been flooded out of their homes, I just can't, and businesses, I just cannot imagine what that is like. You know, I moan and groan when it's a little damp in the house and the towels don't dry. So I just can't imagine. My heart goes out to those people who have those issues, because I just cannot imagine. So on with the knitting. I have some things off the needles to talk to you about. If you have been following me for a while, you know I'm doing something called 40 Cowls, 40 months. And that was for a party that we are doing, a Christmas party at work that I'm involved in. And the gals and I, the co-leaders of this group, we've been doing it. This will be our 15th year. And we have decided that after 15 years, it is either time for it to no longer be happening or for somebody else to take it over. And so as part of that goodbye surprise, I am knitting cowls, or I was supposed to be knitting cowls and scarves for 40 months, which would kind of lead up to maybe my retirement from the job, maybe in a year-ish, at the end of June, definitely next year, hopefully before that, April, I'm hoping. But anyway, part of that was that I was going to do as a surprise present. We always do little gifties and prizes, and I would do a cowl or a scarf for everybody, and randomly they would be wrapped, and so we don't know who's getting what. And I have, it's no surprise that as a knitter I am behind my 40 months, but I have goals that now that I do 5 a month through the summer, and I have some to show you, so I would just want to get right into that. This is the Pearl Ridge scarf that I'm working on. I'm having a lot of fun with this. This is an old Stephen West pattern. And the nice thing about Pearl Ridge is this is a free pattern, but it can be worn many different ways. And so I am knitting a few of these. And right now, all of the ones that I am knitting are from Stash. And I'm going to continue to do that too, because I have a really good stash. And I went looking through the stash last week for some more things. I found some really cool yarns that I'm so excited about. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of them are going to be this Pearl Ridge scarf or a facsimile of. So because I enjoy knitting on them, but they go pretty fast and they are a no-brain project. So I have some that I'm going to show here that I have a stack going. This is a shorter one. This is out of Cascade Echo Duo, and I only had one skein of it, and this has alpaca in it. It is so soft. So it's a shorter one for somebody who's smaller, or somebody who doesn't want a super long, or doesn't want to double it up. So I have one in Echo Duo. Just finished this one. This one's out of Splatterdash. It has not been washed yet. And this is another, and I do not know the content of this, but this is super soft as well. And I thought this would be a nice rusty version. This was a little bit longer. Again, super, super soft yarn, Splatterdash. This one is a Madeline Tosh Vintage. This was a 1.5 skeins I did out of this one. And it's the Willy Wonka colorway. I bought this on our way back from Florida 2 years ago. Debbie and I were in Florida and we drove back. And I still have some of this that I think is going to go for a hospice blanket, because I have sufficient. And then the last one is from Sweet Peas Baby Blanket. This is a universal yarn. This was Uptown Worsted. This is supposed to be one of those yarns that doesn't pill. And so we will test it out, not only in the baby blanket that I made for her, but in the cowl. So I have a few of those going as off the needles recently, and I just love doing them. They're fun to do at lunchtime, and I can tuck one in my purse, and I always have it with me to go with wherever I'm at knitting, and comes out perfect when at stoplights or trains, because I hit a lot of trains going to work as well. And then the last thing I have finally off the needles is Veronica. This is by Shannon Cook, and I finally finished it. If you remember correctly, this is the second time I have knit Veronica. The first time I went down needle size and I did the first size, and I was not happy when I got done for 2 reasons. It was just too short in the back, and this is a kind of sweater that I think you need to, it needs to be long and cover your bum or your butt. And it's super, super easy to do. The second thing about this one is I used Yoth Yarn's Father in Concord Grape. Excuse me. And it was obvious when I finished the first one, I did not alternate skeins. And you could see right down the back where I had changed into a lighter dye lot. So what I did on this one, when I knit it the second time around, I did alternate skeins. And so you can see some of the changes. They're subtle. But I think that just does the yarn good. And I don't have a problem with that. And if you're looking at that, you're too close. Right? So anyway, that is Veronica finally finished. And I've had the opportunity to wear it a couple of times so far. And it will be great for next fall. It'll be good for this summer when I go to a couple of knitting events where the hotels are super, super chilly. So this will be a perfect one to throw on and be comfortable in. And then finally, I am wearing a Sanibel cowl. And this one, I think, this one is done out of Ultra Pima Cascade. And this is going to be nice for summertime to throw on because it is cotton. But I think that this might be an option as well for the 40 cowl project as well. So I think I might do that as well for the summer. And not necessarily in cottons, I don't think. So anyway, that is called Sanibel, and it's another free pattern as well. It's a classic elite, but the yarn is Ultra Pima. So there we go. And so those are, excuse me, the finished projects for so far this month. Next up on the needles, well, I am doing a couple of things on the needles. My next project for 40 cowls. This is from Briar Rose. And Chris Ruzian out of Michigan is a friend. And this is 4th of July. And this is a beautiful orange and some blues and some greens in it. So this is going to be another Pearl Ridge. But what is happening on this, I'm going to change it up a little bit. Instead of doing the Pearl Ridges so often, I'm going to do more stockinette. And this particular one is going to be a gauge swatch for a future sweater that I'm going to talk about later this fall. And so not only am I getting a cowl out of it, but I'm getting a gauge swatch. So this is next on the needles. This will be the one that I'll be carrying around with me and knitting on this weekend. So that is one of the projects that is on the needles. And then next up, I have a couple of sweaters. And you know, I talked about how I was just knitting from stash, right? Well, kids, she lied. Because I have been dying to, for some time now, knit Heidi Kermeyer's Sunshine Coast. I've been wanting to do that forever. It came across a feed not too long ago from Wool & Company. I get their, I follow them on Instagram as well as I get their emails. And so this was one that they were talking about. And I remembered that I had the pattern. And so I started investigating. To my good, I started investigating to see if I had anything in the stash that would work. And I did not. I did not have enough yarn in the stash that was suitable for a summer type sweater, which was what I was doing. So I went down to my local yarn shop and I gave Erin the dilemma, and we came up with Queensland's Savannah, which is a great green. And it's coming out more greeny there. It really is more of a limey. And this is an Italian yarn, and it is 66% silk and 34% linen. So this is going to be perfect, just perfect for my Sunshine Coast. And I have started it and finally got to the point where I am doing just the body at the moment. And I'm going to love this. This is so super cool. It has eyelets at the top. And I haven't gotten to them yet, but in the body, in a little while, it is also going to have eyelets that go down the whole body of it. So I am having so much fun with that when I have the opportunity to do that. And that is Sunshine Coast. You can see those eyelets right there. And the little treatment on the side. I think that is going to be so much fun and so slimming as well. And so that is a great one that I'm knitting on. That is on the needles. And then Erin at the shop was knitting on something one day when I went in there, and I was like, oh, I have to knit that. And I have to use that yarn that you're using. And this one has been on my favorites list for some time. It's called Sugar Maple. It's by Karina Spencer. And it first hit my eye from Corey from I Rock Knits. She had this has this in her sweater class that she does. And I got to try it on, and I loved it. But I didn't like the sleeves on this particular one, because I've talked about it before. Because of my arms, I would never wear without a jacket unless I was like 105 degrees outside, and I would never wear that. So that was really kind of stalled me from knitting on that. But then I saw a picture of Corey and Choco Nut, I believe, and someone else who had knit this, and they were all together somewhere, and they put longer sleeves on it. And so after I saw this photo of Sugar Maple, I thought I could do that, but I never could find the right yarn to knit that out of. But Erin at our local yarn shop was knitting out of this particular yarn. This is called Concentric Cotton. And last fall before, maybe in the spring of last year, they came out with a woolly one as well, like this, that did the same thing. And I love the way they put this up. Isn't that gorgeous? And Erin was knitting out of this yarn, Sugar Maple. And so I told her, I said, I want to do that one as well. I want to do it out of the concentric. There was a couple of different colorways that could have went that she had of. I needed two because of those, because I knew that I wanted to do those sleeves longer. And so I got two of them. And I've just kind of started this because I've been working on other things. But I'm just going to love working on this particular Sugar Maple, because I just can't wait to see what the next colorway brings. It's kind of like the heathered blankets, only it just does it by itself. So I'm really excited about that. It's very lightweight. It's done on a very small needle, 4-ish. So it's a lot of knitting, but still a lot of fun. So that's Sugar Maple. Those are a couple of things that are on my needles. And yes, and sweaters, because this is the year of, for me, I want to have sweaters. I want to have knits that and accessories that portray what I am, a knitter. And if anybody asks, a blogger and a YouTube podcaster as well. But anyway, we'll just start with the knitters. So that is my goals for this this summer going into the fall, is to have sweaters and accessories that show off what I am. So next up, what the mailman brought. I have some cool things to show you. And again, I owe these all to Instagram, because I see them posted and I'm like, yeah, I think I might need that. And so I found some stitch markers from A Needle Runs Through It. And I'm just going to show you those. These are perfect for those people who have problems deciding what they're supposed to do. You know, I think they're great. And I think that they'll be a great gift. K2 tug, make one right, make one left. Make one right, pick up, back to front, knit front. It tells you what to do exactly. SSK. Make one left, pick up front to back, knit back. So I think those are super cool. They may be a gift, or they may be going into my knitting accessories. And then the other set from them is beginning of round, left, right sleeve back, right sleeve front, left sleeve front, another set, which I think is so super cool. And this again is from a needle front, runs through it. And I purchased things from her before, and then she always throws in another little progress keeper. This one's a little hat. And I thought that just super cool. A needle runs through it. Fun little stitch markers and accessories. And then I have seen these forever, but finally just broke down and bought some, and there may be something in the anniversary bag similar to it. This is from buroakstudio.com. She's a small business owner and maker. Each of her pieces are unique and make every effort to ensure that each item is well made. This is so super cool. She takes those old knitting needles that everybody's trying to pawn off to you, to me, and she makes things. And this is a shawl pin, which I think is so super cute. And then a couple of bracelets. That's so cool, super cool. And then I've been eyeballing these things forever. And then some earrings as well. Isn't that neat? So that is from Burr Oak Studio. That's in through the mail. And having so much fun. I love to see unique items for gifts and for giveaways. So who knows, future giveaways. Let's go into books and bags. Couple of cool things I want to talk to you about. This book is not particularly, let's say that again, particularly. Hey, this is not relatively new either. This is called Knitting for Babies. It's a quick to knit book. Again, I doubt that you can get this book. Copyright 2006. So it's been since 2006 since it's come out. This book was given to me by my friend Norma, and I've talked about Norma before, who's passed away some time ago. A very, very dear friend. Still very much missed. She would enjoy so much the knitting directions that I'm taking now. She would love that I'm podcasting. Let's just say that. But anyway, I love this book. This is from my library, but one of the patterns that I think may still be available out there is called the Sunny Baby Blanket. And I have several babies that have to be knit for this summer. One due in July, one due in August. One's a family member, not a grandchild, but anyway, a great niece. And then my assistant at work, her daughter's having a baby. So I have some baby blankets that need to be knit. And the Sunny Baby Blanket, or a facsimile of, I think is super, super easy to do out of different yarns. And so I have one or two of these on the needles as well. And I know that you can get Sunny Baby Blanket out there on Ravelry. So you might want to check that out. And if you ever come across this book, it has some cute little baby things in it as well. Little sweaters. I have a collection of baby books. I've collected them forever, of baby knitting books, because I just love knitting for babies. And the neat thing about this book is it has information in it as well, and cute little knits, a penguin hat. And I know some other friends are having babies this year, and so if for some reason you want to borrow it, let me know. But anyway, this is out of my library, and it's called Knitting for Babies, and if you can still find it, it's a great little book, cute little pictures. I think maybe I collect them because these babies are so darn cute, aren't they? Anyway. And then in the bags, I have a bag that my friend Victoria gave me for my birthday a couple of years ago. And it's from Brooklyn Haberdashery. I love this. And right now, it is housing some really cool stuff. It is a felted type bag. And I know that they are at Stitches Midwest a lot. And so something that I have been looking at for some time, it's housing some things, some notions at the moment in here. But I had been looking for this, and I actually bought one for a Christmas gift. And again, there might be something similar in the anniversary bag. But anyway, this is from Coco Knits, and it is called a Maker's Keep. And my local yarn shop just got them in not too long ago. And so I had to get one for myself. On the back, it has a measuring, in case you're desperate. It does it in inches. But it's a slap bracelet. And also, one of the things that Coco Knits has is multiple kinds of sizes of the stitch markers that are covered, that are coated, that go on there. And you can just pull them off, throw them on. So if you're coming around, it's perfect to do that. There are other accessories that go with this as well. One of them is the cable needle that's a straight cable needle with a metal in the middle that will go onto it. I want to see if my local yarn shop, Erin, will get that. And then a row counter as well. And pop that on there like so. And then you just do one of those. That's super cool. It has a lock on it. Do that. So I'm super excited about getting this and using it. That is from Coco Knits, and it's called the Maker's Keep. And being right now, I am putting that into my little Notions bag from Brooklyn Haberdashery. I just love it. It's felted and it's so cool. And I just think these hanging off the ends is super cool as well. It's those little things, kids, that just excite me all over the place. So, what have I got left for you to do? Okay, that's books and bags. I just want to touch on a new pattern that just was released this week. This is by Megan Williams, who is part of the Stockinette Zombies group. This one's called Sassy Spirit Wrap, and it just came out. I'm going to look maybe in the next couple of weeks for some yarns out of my stash to knit this. She has patterns that are coming out. 6 wraps in 6 weeks, and right now you can buy them for the package for $6. And then every week for 6 weeks you will get a new wrap pattern. This one has a new to me cast on. It's the Norwegian cast on, which I've never done yet. But in the pattern, Megan gives you links as to an interweave article on it, and also to go to the YouTube for a video on, I assume, on how to do this. And yesterday on Megan's Instagram, she's Just Run Knit. She did a video, a story on ways to wear this, and it is so super cool. It has a hole in it here, which you can put over your arm, over your neck, flip it around. And so I'm super, super excited about knitting on this. And I just wanted to do a little shout out for her Sassy Spirit Wrap. It is, like I said, part of 6 wraps called the Raptitude Collection. I thought that's super, super cute. And those are out, available on Ravelry. And so just check those out. Upcoming events. Guys, probably 5-6 weeks tops to Zombie Apocalypse 2019 in Rochester. Debbie and I are going up. We're going up to see you guys. We are looking so forward to it. It is going to be so much fun. This will be our 3rd year, and we met some amazing ladies, amazing knitters, amazing people, and we are so stoked, looking forward to it. So some of my knits I'm knitting so that I can wear there. I'm taking Veronica with me. I'm wearing my twin outfit that Debbie and I both did. And we're just going to have so much fun. So we are just living for that June date. Last night, I just signed up for January Thaw 2020. I'm again stoked. I'm already planning. When I called the hotel, I got a lady who had did not sound like she was from Illinois, which is not a problem, and it was fun to listen to her. But she's like, when I told her I was making my reservations for January of 2020 for the hotel, she was like, "Oh, you really like to pre-plan, don't you?" And I'm like, "Well," and then she said, "Oh, that's a good rate." And it's like, well, if you don't do it now, this booking is going to go, and I'm so glad I did. But anyway, the January Thaw is put on by Jeanette and George of Sun Valley Fibers up in Madison area, Wisconsin. I'm looking forward to it. There are 2 teachers that are going to be there, Susan B. Anderson and Kate Atherley. And we're going to get to take a class from one of them. I'm excited. I go with my Knitwit friends from here in Peoria, and I meet up with other people that I see at other functions. So I am so looking forward to that. And I'm pleased that I'm hoping that no sickness like last year comes in. So those are the things that are coming up that I'm super excited about. Also, in July, second weekend in July, will be Meg Swanson's knitting camp. And again, another friend, Linda, and I will be going there. And again, the knitting, Linda, let's knit something. We've got time. Let's get moving. Linda and I have this conversation every year about how our show and tell is not worthy of the other things. And it's not like we didn't have a whole year to plan and knit on something fun. But anyway, we just have a great time with our group and see everybody. So, hey, it doesn't matter if you have show and tell or not. That's for sure. And so then I just have one last thing that I want to talk to you about, and maybe we'll start a thread in the Ravelry group. Do you hear the birds? I have the window open. I just love listening to them sing in the early morning. Back and forth to each other. It's just so much fun. And the squirrels and see the rabbits and all of that. It's so cool to have a backyard that's semi-quiet. We live in a quiet neighborhood, yet there's houses next to us and apartments behind us, but it's so quiet, and we have a little bit of wildlife, which is so much fun. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you before the music started was, and I'm going to put it again, a thread in the Ravelry group, because I'm interested in how you set up your knitting area, your knitting chair. Last weekend I was cleaning out underneath our sink in the bathroom, and I came across a Longenberger basket that I had bought some time ago when somebody had a party. Probably, oh my gosh, again, it's probably 20 years ago. And at one time it sat next to my chair at the old house, and it carried pens and paper and all the mini remotes that everybody has. And so then when we moved to this house, I had less remotes and I think maybe less room. Not really. I still have a like assortment of things around my chair, and I'll take a picture at some point in time and post that out on the Ravelry group in the discussion as well. But when I was cleaning out, I found that this basket was underneath the sink, and it had accumulating things, mostly things from the eye doctor, the eye washes and the rags and all of that. And I thought, that's just ridiculous. And so I cleaned it out and I thought, well, maybe I could repurpose it for next to my knitting chair. So I'm interested in how you keep your supplies in your knitting area, your knitting chair. And so here's the basket, and it has, the cool thing about it is it has, I bought the liner back in the day from them. It also had, I bought the plastic liner and then the divider. And so I just kind of started last weekend, started putting some of my accessories into it. Some stitch markers, some things that I use often, my small ruler. Then I have a little jar, a little container that I put down into it to hold my crochet hooks when you need to fix something quick, some darning needles, my scissors so that I could easily get to them, and then some larger crochet hooks as well. I have some highlighter tape that I threw in there that I use a bit, and scotch tape because in my journal I scotch tape a piece of my yarn. And then I have my progress keepers and my scale, extra yarn for waste yarn, and again, other assortments. So I'm wondering, what do you do with your stuff? I also have next to me a zipper bag of stuff that still has to go in there. And so I'm just wondering, let's talk about that. What do you do with your knitting area? How do you arrange stuff? Or do you just have a bag that you always sits in your knitting bag and you just carry your knitting bag with you? When I'm sitting in my chair in the living room and knitting, and all of a sudden I need a crochet hook, I like to be able to just go plop and pull it out and do it because, you know, it's falling down and I want to get it done right away. So I'm wondering, let me know. Let's talk about it in the thread. I'd love some more ideas. I'd love to see some pictures of what you do. Let's start the conversation. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. I am going to head on out to hospice for hospice prayer shawl group today, and then off to work. And then this weekend, we're heading out to Iowa to see the grandkids and spend some time with them. And hopefully the weather will be nice, maybe a little sunshine that we can get outside and do a little walking or whatever. So it has been fun talking to you today, and I am so glad again for all of those of you who have come back, and for those of you who are going to let other people know. Subscribe, talk in the group, talk down below, give us some comments, and in the meantime, knit something fun, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. And until then, knit on with confidence and hope. Bye.